Hello. Looks so weird. I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks without glasses. I haven't actually seen myself on camera without glasses for like weeks. This is so weird. Hopefully, I can keep them in the whole stream. If I can't, we'll go back to the glasses. But I thought I would try. I'm trying to get used to them. I just don't wear them enough. So I need to be wearing them on stream. Because that's where I'm going to want them more than most things. What's the point me trying my contacts to just wear them in the house and no one see me without my glasses? I might as well try and use them on stream. Especially because I'm only supposed to wear these for a couple of hours. And we stream for a couple of hours, so I might as well do that. But I am a little bit stressed. Not literally stressed, but like I hope I've done everything correct for this stream. There's a bunch of stuff I don't understand. Um Creator side of things. And hopefully I've done it right. It's been a little bit of a stressful morning in terms of content. I'm hoping everything has gone the correct way. If it has, then the stream will be successful. Either way, I kind of had this like idea in my head that even if like things didn't go where they needed to go before stream, I was just gonna stream and ignore it. But everything has fallen into place from what I can tell, so we should be fine. I will say I have literally no idea in terms of gameplay what we're going to be doing today. I'm just going to go wherever the game takes me. I am just going to go wherever the game takes. Um, I know we're going to spend a little bit of time in the character creation because let's be real, it's me. We did this on Stars and Island and it took me, I think, 20 plus minutes to just decide on my character. And for reference, the character creation in that at the beginning, like, is not much. And yeah, we do it in every game. It's ridiculous. Give me 5 options and I'll still spend 20 plus minutes like trying to decide what I'm gonna look like. But this game looks even better, so it's gonna be really difficult. Hopefully there's not that many options. I haven't seen the options. I've tried to avoid looking at anything. I've been lurking in streams but not watching because I'm like, I don't want to ruin anything. So I have no idea how many options we have. Could take half the stream just to make a character. I hope it doesn't, but I hope it doesn't. But you know, we're indecisive. We're indecisive, and the characters look so cute. I have seen a couple of things I need. A couple of things I need. One, I need a frog hat because are you kidding? How cute. I need it. I need it immediately. I don't know if I get it immediately, but we're gonna try and get it. I also saw, I don't know what it is. Is it like an item accessory? But there is a goose. There is a goose in a screenshot that I need. I don't know if it's like a plushie that I can carry around or if it's a pet. I have no idea, but whatever it is, we need it. So 2 things that I need desperately. So we already know kind of how my character's gonna look, but we'll have to wait to see if we can even get those things. I do think that there is a possibility that those things should just be in there. Obviously, this is alpha, so there's going to be some stuff not available, but I have seen people playing alpha with the frog hat at least, so that's one thing. So we should be good on that. Um, Other than that, genuinely no idea what the character creation is going to be like. So this could take a hot second. I am. I want to open the game. I tried to open the game earlier just to see like if it was all okay on my PC. And then a cutscene started playing, so I had to close the game really quick. So I'm hoping it plays again because I haven't seen it, so I would hope that we get to watch it again. But I wanted to open the game so I could do like any graphics stuff, and I did turn off VSync. That's all I could do. So I'm hoping we can stream the game perfectly fine. We'll figure it out because we had a problem with Stars on Island. It wasn't with my PC or stream, but it was with the game not being optimized because it was early access. But it's actually figured itself out. It figured itself out. We ended up being perfectly fine. I think it's a problem with the memory, so I'm hoping we don't have that problem. I do have my task manager open so we can make sure that everything's okay because I don't want stream to crash. I don't want anything to break. But we will see. I think we might get in. and just see. Let's see if I can make sure I have the game up when it comes up. Let's open it and see if it's gonna give me the option. Hopefully I can capture at the right time. Currently set to paleo, so that's not very good. We are not playing paleo right now. That's not the right thing. I don't think it's gonna pop up until. Uh-oh. It's not responding. That's not good. This is not a good start. Why is the game not responding? Oops. Let's reopen. It should be fine. When I opened it earlier, it let me go into like the settings and like all of that. So hopefully if I just leave it alone. I can leave it alone for a second. I've also just realized I did not change over my sound. I have it set to come through my monitor, which would not be good. You guys would hear it through the mic, which would be terrible. I hear sound. Everything seems okay, but my game seems to be. There we go. Can I do it now? Nope. Okay, it's gonna be, I think, when the main page comes up. Oh. It's asking me to log in again. That's great. Does it do this every time? Oh. A little bit odd. A little bit odd. I already logged in. So that's a little weird. You know what? That's fine. Oh, is it this? Yes. Found it. Okay. Phone in. Here we go. We got it working. Yay, it's playing it. Nice. This is why I closed earlier. What's going on? $10:30, that's a little late. Oh. Oh, it's not like a proper cutscene. There we go. The spacious room in the memory feels strangely narrow now. Such a vivid dream. It is a dream, isn't it? Can I get this to, like, finish? This resembles a drawer for old items, bathed in sunlight and redolent of pencil shavings. Looking around might yield discoveries. Wait. Do we do this and then we go... Oh, we're gonna go to the mirror and do character. Okay. Let me just make sure that this is up so I can see things. So far, possibly good. We could be good. I think everything's running like it should. Okay. We skip walk. So cute. This is his dream. Let's play a little longer. I don't want to wake up yet. Yes. Oh, my camera's in the way. That's not good. Let's do this side. Do that side. There we go. You guys can see the character, because otherwise that's not great, is it? Okay. We're gonna leave it on the lowest skin, because let's be real. I don't look as pale on stream. I always say this, I don't look as pale on stream as I am in real life. In real life, I'm literally see-through. So we never need to do anything with this. Oh no. They gave us too many options. This is bad. But I'm not gonna lie, this is the cutest. This might be the cutest. Now the question is there a hair color? Because they never do. They always do blonde and brown. There's never like an in-between. Unless it's like ginger and it's just not the right color. So let's see. Can we... Oh, I don't think we can. Okay, we can't turn her around. Okay. But we can just see from the front, that's fine. This one's a bun. I think this one, right? Or is that not even remotely original? Has everyone else gone for like the same thing? Okay, so we have that one looks like it should be brown, but it looks more ginger. But then that one's like a brighter version. Brown. Is this gray or is this like the closest I'm gonna get? I think we might have to go with this one. I think it's supposed to be gray. But I think we'll go with that one because I don't really feel like having gold hair today. Sometimes I do characters that look nothing like me, and I try sometimes to do them that look exactly like me, and it just never goes right. So we have no green. Do we have green eyes? Don't think we have green eyes, but that's okay. We'll go with like which one we like the most. It's fine. Okay, we have 5 options. Which one do we like the most? Oh wait, I think I already know. Oh, maybe not. I thought these ones were going to be the ones I go for. Maybe these cute ones. I kind of like that. We have pink, orange, a couple of browns. Is this might actually, is this just the shape or is this a color? We might go for the pink. We might go for the pink. Like purple. Pink, purple. Ooh, wait. We almost left. We almost left and didn't even check. The eyebrows. I honestly think we'll stay with the default ones though. Maybe. Can't really see them because of the hair, but maybe we'll stick with the default. And then we have blush. Love it. Thank you. I think this game needed blush. It's like the perfect little like detail. The characters. I feel like they just needed it. Can we change the color of it though, or is this just... I don't think we have color yet. Cute. We have freckles. Maybe I do this one. I keep wanting to turn the character around to see things, but you can't do that. I do like this one though. It's kind of cute. I think we just go for the simple one. Outfit. This is going to be a difficult decision because I don't think they're going to give the frog hat yet. They might. It looks like it might be at the end, but it might not be. Looks like we're going to have to try and find it. Cute. Okay, we might have like 2 options I like. I like the jumper. The jumper's super cute. Maybe the jumper. The jumper with the jeans. Cute! Okay, this is actually super cute. I don't know what, if any of these are supposed to be matching or not. Wait, the skirt. Oh, the skirt. But it doesn't go with the red. Is it red or is it orange? I have my, like, thing turned on so that, it doesn't hurt my eyes too much while I'm streaming. But, like, it definitely makes the screen look a bit orange. So I have no idea if this is, like, orange or red. Close enough. I don't know if that goes. What shoes do we have? Maybe if we try... Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Are you kidding? So cute. We try on shoes, see what the shoes look like. Let's just go. Or do we just go with the jeans? Okay, the jeans are so cute though. The jeans are so cute. I think we do the jeans. The jeans with the boots. Or the trainers. Boots. And I put the cute socks on just in case. We do have the hats! Oh no, we're changing our outfit. Oh, we're changing our outfit. Can I change my outfit? I can change my outfit. Wait, we have a bunny hat, a cat hat, a bear hat, technically, and a frog hat. Wait, the glasses are so cute. Stop. Oh, cute. Okay, we need to change the outfit though because I have to wear this hat. Like nothing can tell me to put anything else. This is the hat. This has to be the hat. Maybe we do the jeans, but we like... I know we're probably gonna be able to change outfits, but I'm so like, you know what? We'll just leave the red jumper on. We'll just leave the red jumper on. It's fine. We'll leave it. We'll leave the red jumper and we'll keep the hat. Like, I gotta screenshot that. Okay, she's actually cute. She's actually super cute. I don't even care if it doesn't go. She's super cute. Can we actually, before I do anything, can I change the sensitivity? There we go. I want to put the sensitivity up. This is a little slow. That's still a little bit slow for me. I think my problem with playing like FPS games is that sensitivity in these games is so low. That's better. I like that. Okay. Open the curtains. These are curtains. Saw a familiar card in your dream. Oh my god, this is so cute. Look at the little sheep. A childhood album looks like it's waiting for its owner to sign their name on the inside. Okay, let's just do something real quick, because is there any way at all for us to turn off that sound? Or is that not an option? Oh wait, that's supposed to be off. That was supposed to be off. I turned it off earlier. That's a little bit concerning. We don't need 160 FPS. We are fine. Okay, I don't actually think we can turn off the clicking sound. That is something I hope we can turn off soon, because I don't like that. Every game I play, I always turn that sound off. Okay. And your name. Oh, this is so creative. I like this. Do we put Casey or CosyKas? It doesn't really matter too much. The game's gonna get wiped. But do I do full name? Yes. Do full name. Otherwise, when I read the name in like conversation, I'm gonna end up saying it like Cass on accident when it's my own name. Do that way too often. A gift box. A gift? The outline looks familiar. Oh, don't. This is the... Stop. We choose one? Okay, let's put this back to the normal camera. We get to choose the Whooper cat. We have options. Oh no. Oh. A cat, are you kidding? How do I choose? Whooper symbolizes good fortune. They are innocent, lively, and bursting with energy. It's just as easy to get on their nerves as it is to win them over. They love to dress up, each with their own unique style. Finding two identical Whoopers in this world would be... we can't read the rest. So this is like the one we've been seeing in all the trailers. Oh, I kind of like the pink one. I do kind of like the pink one, but I also kind of like the calico one. Wait, no, we need this one. This one looks dopey. I love it. I love that guy. Hi. Oh, look at that face. Oh, you're running. You're running. Okay. Whoop seems to be asking me to follow it. Okay. Where are we going? Why are you taking me? I'm coming. I'm right behind you. This is like a very well thought out like introduction to the game. I love it. Can we jump? We can jump. Love a game when it lets us jump. Clearly the Whooper does too. Cute desk. Wait. What's going on? We can fly. I already knew that. I was like, hang on, you gonna pounce on me? Like that was cute. I like that. Usually it's just kind of like, here, create a character. That's like it, but that was super cute. This looks like a huge desk. Did I just time travel or something? Hey, my kitty Whooper, you're tiny too. Whooper? You can say your own name? What a dream. But where is this place? It looks so familiar. Whooper! You seem to know something. Whooper whooper. I love this guy. Oh no. All this gameplay is gonna be like, oh, the Whooper's so cute. Wait, where did it go? The note on the monitor stand looks so familiar. Oh, he went over to the monitor. Okay. Whooper is looking at a note on the stand. Guess I'll take a look. The desk is still a bit messy. I'll clean it up after exams. Hopefully. I've had a Little Prince and Gulliver's Travels for ages. I'll return them to the library after I'm done. For sure. Check the club requirement for this semester. Should I sign up for that photography club or not? I just need to turn this down slightly because it's gonna hurt my ears. Okay. So we have a to-do list that will probably not get done. I've not felt familiar, but I can't recall whose it was. What about this one? Oh. Okay, wait, can I not? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, why can't I pick it up? Please stop stepping on my keyboard. To the Whooper the kitty, oh no. Please stop stepping on my keyboard. Last time you closed out of my essay I hadn't saved. Well, I mean, that's kind of your fault. It's kind of your fault. Don't blame the cat. It feels like the end of the world to me. Oh no. When I get my living expenses this month, I'll be sure to buy you the most expensive food, kind of food there is. Now though, you'll have to bear with some dry food. Not you getting like treats essentially after you do something wrong. Love that. What is this? Obtained lucky Whooper coin. Hard candy. Energy? Oh. I don't know why we got energy, but the last one looked like my handwriting. There's another note here. So this is from ourselves. If I could really shrink like in the novels, could I crawl under the bookshelf to sleep? Or ride Whooper to explore the balcony? What am I thinking? I've got an 8 AM exam tomorrow morning. I'll be done for it if I don't hit the sack right now. So like, why were you just like leaving little notes around, or is this supposed to be from like a journal? This is my diary and oh, I was gonna say, this is my desk. Whooper! I'm just gonna start responding to everything with the word Whooper. I remember now, I fell asleep at my desk and then I shrank onto it? Whooper whooper. Have I brought too much novels into my dreams? I've never had such a realistic dream before. Your Whooper suddenly perks up, glances around, and scampers off towards the far end of the desk. Oh, where we're going? I better pick all these coins up. I don't know what they're for, but just in case. Just in case. Where did you go? That Whooper just can't contain itself. Gone again. I think it ran this way. The card house I casually built is now totally in the way. Gotta figure out how to clear it out. Remember leaving a lollipop on the desk. Okay. Maybe I can use the lollipop to clear the clutter. Ow. How are we gonna do that? How does that work? Okay. Oh, this is a tool. Okay. That's actually kind of creative. I didn't think of that. Obtain the gathering tool lollipop. Left click to swing the lollipop. Smash it out into the lollipop icon to collect them. So this is like a pickaxe. Oh. How do we... Oh, scroll wheel. Okay. Wait, we picked that up. Obtained block piece. Blue planet 1. Interesting. We're picking up a bunch of stuff. It's probably not going to do anything. It's probably not going to do anything, but I'm picking them up just in case. Okay, now what? Oh, so wait, we need to do other stuff too. Oh, this is gonna give us stuff though. Wait, can I like... Oh, there we go. All the whooper coins. I need all of them. They're probably not important, but I feel like they could be. I don't want to risk them being like something I need. And I just didn't pick them up. What's that? More energy. Okay. So we keep picking up energy. I don't know what it's for. Okay, that like skipped completely. I did not cook anything. Dilly? Oh. Dilly, dilly, dilly. Wait, dilly, 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 dilly. Hello, my name's Dilly. Whoa. There really is a mini here. Mini? Wait, you look so familiar. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dilly, and you are... Hi, I'm Casey. Somehow I shrank onto my own desk. You mean this is your desk? It's giving like Toy Story type vibes, but like in a different way. No wonder you look so familiar. You're not a mini. You're a human. A tiny human. I know you. You're the owner of this room. Now I understand why you look so familiar. This is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I sometimes sneak in to grab a couple of paper wads and cards when you're asleep. Wait, what? That's why my stuff's always disappearing or the stream's getting good. This is no dream. We've really shrank down. Minitopia is real, and so are the minis. We're looking at a genuine mini right now. I never thought I'd meet a shrunken human. When I arrived here today, the window slammed shut from a gust, and I thought I was totally out of luck. But now I met you, a shrunken human. This is truly a case of bad luck. Oh. For a mini turning out to be a blessing. Oh. Case of bad luck for a mini turning out to be a blessing. Okay, so it's a good thing. By the way, I'm an intern at Starside. Starside? Legend has it, shrunken humans are natural wish weavers. So wish weaver. Wish weavers. Wish weavers are the ones in Minitopia with the richest emoji? Emoji? They're minis capable of building a Starside homes. Overflowing emoji. Might be emoji. Emoji? We're gonna have to guess a couple of words. Allows you to do things ordinary minis can't in Minitopia. But first, I need to get you registered with Starside. I'll contact headquarters right now. I don't think I agreed to this yet. Dilly pulls out a device which resembles a phone. She calls the Starside headquarters, shocking them with the news that a tiny human has appeared. An understandable reaction, given the last time a shrunken human appeared in Minitopia was many, many years ago. Starside quickly approves Dilly's application and your Wishweaver registration is successful. All done. You're officially Wishweaver now. The world is going to be very different from... You'll see lots of emoji. I still don't know how to say this. Emoji fragments. I'm gonna call it emoji, if I remember. As your total emoji rises, you'll advance to higher Wishweaver levels. Okay, so we need to get these fragments, which I don't know if we've already got them or not. Take this handy phone. It's just like a human phone. It tracks your Wishweaver level. Before the words even fade, lots of sparkling points of energy light up across the desktop. Oh, wait. So the stuff I keep picking up is giving me energy. Okay. So, emoji? Is it called emoji? Because that would make more sense if it's supposed to be energy. But so we gotta go find all of that then. Now you're Wishweaver. Try collecting the emoji fragment on the desk. Okay. Wishweaver system unlocked. So we're currently level 0, but we need 120 more. By increasing your wish lever level, you can unlock more system features and gain all sorts of rewards. Click here. Click to enter the quest interface. Treasure chest holder. Gain 10 energy each time you obtain a new item. Okay. So every time we get a new item, we get 10. So the things I've been picking up has been helping. Good. I kind of hoped it had. I was definitely hoping that it was, like, gonna do something. I was hoping it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up and have no space in my backpack. I don't know how the backpack works, actually. How much space do we have? Oh. Is it unlimited? Please tell me it's unlimited. That's so cool. Okay. Can we run? Can we run? I don't think we can run. That's fine. That just means more exploring. We don't run through things too much. We gotta go pick up, like, a bunch of stuff. Let's get this out. And then we can smash the cards up, too. I mean, technically, we've already gone these, so they're not gonna make too much of a difference, but that will. What was that? Was it like a cat keycap? No, that's so cute. I'm just gonna be saying that the whole stream. Everything's cute. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, you're just gonna hear me saying everything's cute. Like, look at that. Skateboard? We got a skateboard. What do we do with that? Wait, shift. Why have I forgot what shift is? Wait. Okay, this is better. I like this. That's a lot quicker. Wait, do we have energy for that, though? Hope you're enjoying the game. I just started, but honestly, even though I haven't done much, it's adorable. It's definitely adorable. It's gonna get difficult for me to not get distracted. I'm gonna be looking at every single thing I go past. But we'll try and do some quests. Wait, how many cat keycaps do we have? How many do we have? So I'm gonna have to pick them all up. Even if I don't need to, I'm gonna have to. I'm kind of supposed to be getting the energy, and I keep forgetting to actually pick up the energy, and I'm just picking up everything else. Wait, I kind of want to get off this. It's a little bit too quick in the environment we're in. Or at least that's how it feels. Did we miss any of them? Did we miss any, or did we get them all? I think we may have gotten them all. This is the thing about games like this. When there's something to collect and I just don't collect it, I get really annoyed. Like, oh, you collected 9 out of 10. Where's the 1? I always view this room as a common, ordinary space. I never imagined seeing it from a different angle could make it so pleasing. What do you mean by a common, ordinary place? Every time I come here, it looks great. It'd even look better if there were more houses and toys. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. As long as the decorating system in this game is better than Paleo, I will actually decorate. That is the one thing I keep saying in all these games. And so far, no other game has failed me, so let's hope. Please, please be good. Whooper. Kinda wish this dream would never end. Feels like all the pressures of the human world are gone. Where did my voice go? Don't need to worry about early morning classes, unfinished homework, and other annoying things. How many times do I have to say it? This isn't a dream. This is a genuine, perfect Starside homestead. Let's work to make this your unique secret base. Whooper whooper. I love the whooper. In a miniature world, it feels like my worries have become tiny too. Oh, that's cute. Do we go into the... Is that like the end of the intro? Wait. No, it's not. Alright, Whoopers can glide with minis. Try grabbing its tail to glide. This is so funny to me. With that, Dilly summons her own Whooper and glides down. Oh, what does her Whooper look like? Do we not get to see? Oh, well, airborne, press space again to start gliding. Okay, so we do that and then, yeah. There's no fall damage though. Yeah, I didn't think there would be. Oh, I reached Wishweaver level 1. Awesome. Next we can try some modifications to the desktop. These human items such as computer monitors, bookshelves, large speakers, and keyboards are way too big for minis. So we need to use this. The deformation gun? What? Each shot shrinks a large item and clears up space. Are we just getting rid of the cute keyboard? I like that keyboard. Okay, what does this look like? Wait, this is so cute. This is so cute. Yeah, get rid of the alarm clock. We don't need that. Oh. Clear that. Wait, aim at the giant human item in the scene and left click to shoot. Wait. How do I do this? I'm so confused. There's something on top. Wait, do we need to do all of this? I'm not understanding. I'm confused. We do this. I did select the alarm clock, but they wouldn't let me do it. Can we get rid of that? Oh, wait. Wait, I did it. I did it. Okay, that makes sense. We need to clear everything up top first. That's what it meant. I thought it meant like on top of the item, but it just meant anything that was like remotely high up. So we can do this. And then when the thing fills up. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, wait, we collect the item after. So we can actually like decorate with it. Nice. I was like, I don't want to get rid of everything. This is giving us a lot, too. Hello! Hi, friend. Back at you. How we doing? How's everyone's day going? My day is a lot less stressful now that I'm in-game. Oh, we want to keep this. I can't get rid of that yet. Wait, can we get rid of... Wait, we can get rid of this, but not this. Right? No, we can't. Okay, maybe we should go over here. What am I supposed to be getting rid of? Oh wait, it's Tommy to go over there, I think. It's Friday. Glad you were able to play. I didn't want to play yesterday. I didn't want to play yesterday because I needed to stream to play. Right? I was like, I really do not want to play until I can stream. But I was like trying to avoid everyone's streams and videos so badly. So finally we're able to play. I'll probably play today and then play off stream, but we'll definitely play again in the next stream as well. As long as I can figure out what I'm supposed to be getting rid of. For some reason I cannot for the life of me figure out what we're supposed to be getting rid of. It won't let me get rid of anything. Huh? Not enough ammo. Wait. Not enough ammo. Okay. Increase. Okay, so we need to go down. Right? We have something to collect. Increase the Wishweaver to level 2. Pick up blocks. Clear obstacles. Oh. Pick up blocks. Okay. Not me running around thinking that I could just get rid of everything. There we go. Construction feature. Oh, we need to do... Okay, so we need to pick certain things up that gives us this. We don't have unlimited... We don't have unlimited ammo. Okay. We figured it out in the end. It did tell me, but I just wasn't listening. Pretty typical. Pretty typical. Is there anything else? Can I pick these up too? No. Oh. Home deco moment. What did that do? Homestead on the desktop. Find the temporary camp furniture. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing that. My. Hi, I saw you in Discord and give you a follow. It's nice to find someone who who talks like me from Yorkshire. Oh god. Honestly, you don't see that much. I've only ever ran into maybe one person on Twitch that has actually got a Yorkshire accent. So it's kind of funny actually. So hello. If anything makes me annoyed, you'll hear it come out more. Press B to access the hobbies. Oh, my throat. I don't know why that keeps happening. Press B to access the hobbies selection interface. Press 1 to enter construction mode. It's making me decorate already. Oh. Oh my. Wait, okay, there is a grid. Can we turn the grid off? Or is that not a thing yet? It wants me to do something down here. Oh my god. I don't know why. Every time I do like a slightly unplanned stream, my throat's just like, no. My American friends take the mic all the time, think I'm a bit broader sometimes than sounding than you. No, I speak on stream better than I really do. I don't know what it is. On stream, when I first started streaming Cozy Games, a bunch of people came in and was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying, I can't understand. So I put like a little bit of like a better accent on. But you'll see if it comes out. It can get really bad. How do I... Oh. Yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit insane. Like if I get angry with something, like it's hilarious. I like to think it is. Wait, what do we need to do? We needed to place the candle. So we go V1 candle. Oh, it's a big tea light candle. Okay. Did not expect that. I don't care anymore. I just take the mic back. Honestly, if I didn't stream games like this, like I used to stream a lot of Fortnite, like on a different account, I didn't care about my accent too much. But because I want people to be able to hear what I'm saying, if they're like lurking and have my like stream on another monitor or something, I want them to know what the characters are saying in conversation. So I try and talk a little bit clearer. Definitely don't sound like this in real life. Fell into a deep slumber on the bed. Had a long dream. It was a truly restful and wonderful sleep. But I think I'm getting a bit hungry. Same. Oh, you rolled off the bed. Okay. Let's go find Dilly. I would not be able to keep it up. Honestly, it was very difficult. I think I've gotten used to it. It's been quite a while now. Sometimes it'll slip out. I edit my clips after stream sometimes and I'm like, damn, what did you just say? Because there was a clip I had once years ago and it was so bad. It was so bad. I don't even know what I said. And that's a problem. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm from West Yorkshire, if that makes a difference. So, all rested. Let's go find Billy. You're awake. I saw you sleeping and didn't want to disturb you. That was a really good sleep. But I think I'm getting a bit hungry. To be honest, I'm a bit hungry too. I saw a whole bunch of fruit on the balcony, but the balcony is locked. Let's find a way to open it. Balcony? Where's a balcony? Oh, balcony key. Try using the key to open the balcony. I have no idea what the balcony is. Is this like something that we have to like get through to go into the rest of the game? I keep forgetting about the ski board. The ski board? The skateboard. Yeah, I think we have to open this and then we actually get through. There's a vast world beyond the window. You sure you want to take Whooper and start exploring? I think so. I think so. Okay, go take a look at the balcony. Oh, we have a bunch. We have a bunch of emoji. Are we calling it emoji or are we calling it energy? Because I don't really know how to say it. It looked like emoji, but then it started making sense when I realized it was supposed to be actual energy. And now I have no idea what we're calling this. Quite a lot of it, actually. This might not be too difficult to upgrade. Obtained toast table. Is that a table made of toast? Is that a table made of toast? Stop. The ecstatic dilly also hops up onto the balcony. Where'd she go? There you are. Wow, there are lots of fruits here. Go pick a few. Where are the fruits? Oh, they're in front of me. Eating fruit can restore stamina. Okay, so we do have stamina. I don't like stamina. But it's okay. Wait, what are these? Mature yellow mini berry. Okay. I thought these were pineapple in the background. I didn't think they were berries. Okay, harvest radish plants. Wait. We weren't even supposed to do these ones. Radish. Is this radish? Okay. Oh, and they start replanting again? Nice. Oh. Congratulations on unlocking the emote system. I didn't know I had. Press E to enter the emote into this. Okay, we have 2 emotes. How cute. Wait. Aw. We have 3. Wait, can I get up? We have 3. I was gonna say, she's not gonna do it? Oh, cute. I'm definitely gonna need to get some pictures. That is... Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I think I need to change the E and F because my interact button usually is E. And I'm not used to it being something else. That's gonna be a little bit difficult. Okay. Wave to Dilly. Remember to find the wave emote. Okay. Let's go over to the wave. Increase the Wish Weaver level to 4. Upgrade your Wish Weaver level by harvesting fruits, collecting materials, and using the deformation gun. Okay. So, how much do we have left in this gun, though? Because we only have 2. I think maybe we go and collect the, That is not what I wanted to do. We go and collect a bunch of this, and then it should give us more of the ammo, so we can get rid of things. I keep pushing shift to run, and it brings out the skateboard. I keep doing that too. I think I have it set on most games to either be shift or the caps lock. But I had it set to shift in so many games for so long that now I'm just gonna get confused. We'll make us work our way around. It'll be fine in the end. We'll get there in a couple of days. If I play for like 10 hours, 10 plus hours, then I think everything will start to make sense. Okay. How do we find out? Is it V? No. N. There we go. Okay. So we're like about halfway through. Keep collecting them and they'll go up. I don't know if we're gonna have enough that we might have to actually start to... Oh wait, maybe we can do this. Sorry. Okay, can we do this? Does this give us... Oh, it's floating in the air. I was like, hang on, what? Okay, that gives us stuff too. Oh, I'm just gonna keep getting surprised by everything. Okay, can we destroy that? Nope, that's naturally there. We can't destroy these. I'm assuming it's just like little things that we can destroy. I went on a live a little bit ago, but I had to stop it because someone came about my electric. So I've not streamed it yet. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Hopefully you can get around to streaming at some point. I wasn't able to stream until I usually stream twice a week, so I didn't want to stream yesterday and do too many streams. So I've kind of just been like waiting around all day yesterday. Luckily, I do play Fortnite and they had a new season yesterday, so I could use that as a bit of distraction, but I've been itching to play. Have you been able to actually play the game yet, or have you just not streamed it yet? It is really difficult when you know there's a game that you can play, but you just can't play it yet. It's super difficult. What else can we destroy? How far away are we? Okay, we're nearly there. Maybe I get the gun out. That sounds very weird in a game like this, but hey. Okay, so when you do that, it uses one thing. Okay. Got it. So now we have no ammo left. But, yeah, there we go. I think it should do it. Yeah, it did. Okay. We unlocked a bike? I think? Is that what that was? Place a laboratory? A laboratory? Okay. Construction. This? What is this? Put it over here. Okay. Convert materials in the library. Open the library. Oh, I keep pressing E instead of F. This is very annoying. Select material fiber. Craft. I didn't even know I had materials for that. Wood. For wood, we need berries, fallen leaves, hazelnuts, and wood. Well, we don't have any of that, so I can't do that yet. Maybe about 20 minutes, everything been against me since it came out. Same. I had so many problems. I've had so many problems, it's actually ridiculous. Craft and place new furniture. Oh. Oh. We actually need to do this. This and this. Okay. Are any of them craftable? No, wait, it's saying I can do this, but I can't do this. It says I can do it, but I can't. That is a little bit confusing. Wait, can be substituted with the following materials. So we need a common block. Much for that because I had to listen to them all. There's been so many things that just keep going against things, but then stuff figures itself out. Okay. Is my camera blurry? Is my camera blurry or are my eyes blurry? I've got my contacts in, so I don't know if it's just my eyes. It's a little bit confusing. I have no idea how we're supposed to do this. Because this is kind of cut off a little bit. It says we need 2 common blocks. Can be substituted with the following materials. So we can either have this or this. I think we need this. And we want to go and pick up a block. But there are no blocks. How do we pick up a block? Should I do that? Maybe that'll work. Looks okay to me, but watch on TV. I mean, if you're on TV, then it's probably me. As long as it looks okay to everyone else. My contacts sometimes make my eyes go a bit blurry and I have to readjust, so it's probably just my eyes. It's doing it again. I'm looking over at myself and it's like very weird. Very weird. I'm still trying to get used to them. Oh wait, we can go back and look at that. Okay, I think we need to pick up like a bunch of stuff then. Can we go? Is there a map? There's not really a map. Okay. Need your lollipop? You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. That actually helped a lot. I did not even think about using that. I was like, what about the gun thing? There we go. Okay, how much? We need 8. I hope, can we pin materials? Oh, ads are playing. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize ads were actually playing. I apologize. Hulk smash everything. That's a good point. We should just do that. Like this? Maybe? No? I'll get rid of that. Okay. Some things, but not everything. Does it tell me when I'm able to? Let's think. What would be smashable? Maybe it's the other stuff over here. Like, I completely left some of this alone. But maybe I actually can destroy it. Like, can I destroy it? Yes, I can. There's like little white dots when you can use this to destroy something. Did not think of that. Didn't think of it. I like suck at games when I'm first playing them. Give me a week and I'll know everything. So funny. Like, I have no idea now. I'm gonna look back in like a year from now and be like, oh, why did I not know that? Like, get with it. Okay. We're doing good now. We should be fine to maybe create some stuff now. I'll have a look. What can we do now? We need 8 of those, so let's do 8 of them. Oh, we only needed 7 actually, but okay. 1 of those. The Woobus stop sign. We need 3 wooden and resin blocks. We need 3 resin. You want to do 2. And I don't know how to get more. I'm a survival gameplay, so I pick up everything and break everything. See, the games I typically play, like on stream and off stream, are like Palia, Dreamlight Valley, and right now Stars on Island. So like prior to that, I've been the same. No matter what I play, even if I'm playing like a shooter game, like I pick up everything. I'm a hoarder. I always run out of storage, but I think this game might not be too big of a deal for people that run out of storage quick. So hopefully we're good. Hopefully, because I'm like a sucker for like never needing something, because I always have it. And then when a new update for a game comes out, I use everything I just spent so long trying to hoard, and then I'm like, oh, I'm out. Gotta go pick more stuff back up again. My pocket's never big enough. It's so irritating. I hate it. But this game looks like it might be unlimited, or pretty much unlimited storage. Because this is what I picked up so far, which is kind of crazy. Kind of insane. So here's to hoping that this game is not very low on storage. I mean, I don't know if we can create chests or not. So I hope we can. Because I already feel like as much as the bag looks like it's unlimited, I don't think it is. Okay, we need washi tape. And this is the only washi tape I can see. But apparently I cannot use that. But I can do this. Which is just brilliant. Yeah, it gave it to me. Okay. There we go. Then we need to leave and get that back out again. Fill these up. If I pick up like everything I can possibly find, then surely I should just be able to go back and create everything. What's my level? Okay, so we can't use the gun again, I don't think. Let's just pick up everything that it lets me destroy. We have more under here. I was like, wait, there's only one of these. There's like 50 of them. And wait, we actually have some stuff down here that I can get. I did not think about any of this. It's very hidden. In like a creative way though, it all looks like it's supposed to be there, which is kind of nice. Like, I didn't even realize I could pick the mushrooms. Anything else? Wait. I see more washi tape. I see more washi tape. It's whooper tape. It's whooper washing tape. I do need the sensitivity to be a bit higher than it can go. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit too low for me. I've got it on the highest possible setting. It's not high enough. That kind of sucks. Hopefully it's just like that for the alpha test. Because I think I'd struggle playing this game long term with like a low sensitivity, but look, it's making me... I have to move my arm all the way across the mouse pad to turn. Yikes. Okay, I need to make a mental note of that. So that I can like maybe try and send that on. It is very low? Okay, so I'm not the only one then. I am not the only one. How do I pick these up? Well, let me pick them up. That's weird. Okay. Let's see what we can do now. Wooden block and resin. We can do 2 of those. And we can do 4 of those. And then we need this. And then we need fiber. Which we can do. We did it. Okay, we're good. We get there in the end. Okay. Place the... Craft and place the flatty kitchen counter in the warehouse pencil case. Okay. So, V. Then we have this. I'm just like putting stuff wherever because I have no idea where to put it right now. Oh, it's big. It's a big pencil case. Try cutting fruit on the kitchen counter. Keep pressing E. I keep pressing E. Fruit chunks. Oh, add fruit. And then cook. When the slider reaches the blue cutting zone, click the button. Yeah, sure. Oh. Like Palea. But even more stressful. Oh no. Okay. Pick that up. Do we need to do more than one? Warehouse shaped like pen case. Open the Starlight Warehouse once. What do we do? Oh, this is a chest! I do like a chest that gives me 500 spaces. What? Are you kidding? Wait, that's kind of cool. We have 150 in our backpack. And we have 500 storage for the warehouse. Like, 500 storage in one chest. That's insane. So I'm actually very happy with that. I don't think we need to do anything just yet, though. Do I have to? Use the wooden fence blueprint. How do I do that? Use the wooden fence blueprint. Up your backpack. Blueprint. Wait, what? Open your backpack and use the blueprint. Is it in here? I'm gonna claim all of that. Wait, I got a new top. I unlocked something and I just skipped. That's so good. My inner hoarder activated. No, literally, I'm like, that's great. That means we can actually decorate properly in this game. Because you can hold a bunch of materials just to be able to go and build like as much as you want all at once. I love that. the hat and everything else that we've already got. Oh, they're cute. So cute. I want to keep these on though. They are super cute. And then everything else we already know about. I want to put the top on though. The whooper top. Oh, look at the whooper. Oh, I love it. I still don't know how to do the thing though. Bulletin. Wooba. Wooba. Whooper Woods. Hello? Wait. Oh my god, there's so much to do. This is insane. Use the wooden fence blueprint. How do I do that? T. Oh, I'm opening the wrong thing, guys. I'm opening the menu, not my backpack. Okay. Use. Okay, so I learned that. Give the bus stop sign to delay. Okay. Wait, I never even realized that that was like a... Is it a terrarium? But it's like... For the minis. It's got like a little... It's got like a little, what's the word? A little swing. Oh, and it's got a little pond. Oh, stop. Stop. Stop it. Casey, a Wish Weaver level is so high now. You're truly a Wish Weaver with limitless potential. Now, in our Starside homestead, we can build a Woobus stop sign. Woobus stop sign? Yeah, my fault exactly. The Woobus stop sign is a transit spot in Minitopia. You want to say Metopia? We need to go out where the Woobus stop sign and the Woobus will come to pick you up. Wait. The Woobus as in like my Woobus is gonna come so I can like fly away somewhere? Or is it like a Woobus bus? Or is it a bus drove by Woobus? So many questions. It's pretty much like what you humans call, let me think, a bus. Anyway, let me call HQ on the handy phone, and we'll get you a Woobus stop sign built ASAP. Give the stop sign. This one? Woobus stop sign. Billy picks up the handy phone and gets through to Starside HQ. In that time, a team of workers from Starside has the Woobus stop sign built on your balcony. Okay, I'm gonna struggle with words. Go to the Woobus stop sign. And go to the... Oh, call. Oh, we're traveling. We're traveling. Oh, we're merged. Oh my... This is the Minis village. Is it called Wooruville? I can't believe a place as magical really exists. Neither can I. This is so cute. The scenery here is so completely different from what we have back at the homestead. Definitely. Hello? This is Starside. You've met the conditions to unlock daily quests. Starting now, 5 daily quests will appear on your handy phone every day. Is that in-game or real life? It's telling me things and I have no idea. Press P to open the quest interface. Select daily quest tab. Okay, so the Dew Florist C. Sneezing in the Florist C. Why are we sneezing in the Florist C? What does that mean? Gather 5 sparkling pollens. Okay. Sparkling pollens gathered. Okay. 1 bottle a day, sunshine all the way. Pick up weather glass. Okay, cool. So we need to go and do... Do we need to go do those? I just want to explore a little bit. I just want to wander around. I want a dilly. Neighbor inviting. Shop recycling funds increased to 16,000. What does that mean? Oh my god. I feel like I'm in like strawberry shortcake. Does this not look like strawberry shortcake kind of vibes? Or like Fifi and the Flower Tops. My childhood. This is literally my childhood. This is beautiful. I think I'm gonna be obsessed. I already kind of knew that, but we can sit on chairs. I know that's nothing to some people, but to me it is. We can sit. Some games do not allow you to sit on things. Also, I did not check something. I'm just realizing. What region did I pick? Is there a way to check? I just realized I never checked what region I'm on. I'm going to assume I'm on Europe. And the names of the characters are in like a different language just because it's alpha. You did that too? It's just like some of the text is coming up and it's like not English. And I only know English. So this is gonna be a little bit difficult. A little bit difficult, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not the only one, so it's fine. I know you want something from me, but like, I'ma just run around. We're just gonna be discovering things. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, there's so many like cool things that I genuinely didn't even think. Like, I didn't even think about the things that they would use. You know? Like, is this a can of soup? Is it like a can of soup? Like an opened can of soup? We need to answer a question. We did this on Stars and Island. It needs to be answered. I accidentally did this on Stars and Island and the reaction was quite funny, but... Can we swim? No, I don't think we can. Wait. Wait. Oh, no. I don't think we can. I don't think we can swim. It's okay though, we can walk in a little bit of water. That's fine. I think we just discovered a new place. Wait, is that a ladybird jacket? Oh, there are so many things. Oh, no. If you guys are like me, I can already assume that you've just, like, gotten so distracted by just picking everything up. I can pick everything. I can pick everything up. This is kind of bad. Forest candy bag. Wait, why can't I pick it up? I can't pick up. I can't pick up the bag. That's a little bit weird. Can we catch bugs? Oh. Oh. We pet bugs and then bugs become friends? I think. Wait, what did I do? I did something. I have no idea what I just did, but I did. Where am I right now? Talk about strawberry shortcake. Is that literally a strawberry shortcake? Oh, we are gonna have fun. We are gonna be having fun because this is, oh my god, something that I can never stop thinking about whenever I play a new game. All of those like really creative people, which I used to be one of these people that could do cool decorating in games. I used to do it with The Sims all the time when I was like 14. Then I just like got bad at it. People that post like pictures in like from games that do like really good builds and then post like screenshots. You guys never fail to amaze me. I'm like scrolling on Instagram and I'm just like, oh, that's so pretty. I want it. I can't wait to see what people do with this game. Can we like decorate everywhere? I have this feeling you can decorate practically everything in this game. Which is like pretty much unheard of. I feel like the only game you can really... What? What is that? I need to fix it? Oh my. I feel like the only game where you can decorate to that extent is like Animal Crossing, and like I've never really not played it properly. I played it a little bit. But the stuff I've seen people do, crazy. So I feel like that's gonna be the extent of which people are gonna do on this game. Life skill system. We're already level 9. We're already level 9. Okay, we need to do something. I need to go... I need to pick that up. You just found a ball and were wondering what it was. When a little girl named Lily walked by... It's Sendling? Oh, that's not Lily. That's Sunny. Where's Lily? Collect a bottle full of sunshine. Okay, how do I do that? Equip the... Please come back. Equip the weather glass. Oh, no. I resisted Animal Crossing New Horizons for 5 years and I bought a Switch 2 a month ago. A month ago. Girl, honestly, I don't use my Switch, okay? So I'm not going to... I don't use it, so I'm just not going to buy a new one because that would be ridiculous. But I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish I could play Poketopia. Like, I'm not like a full-on Pokemon person. Like, I don't really know enough about Pokemon to be like, yeah, I'm a big fan. But games like Animal Crossing were the reason why I actually ended up getting a Switch, and then I never really played it. So I hope you're having fun because it looks like a really great game. I just can't get into it. I struggle with controller. I think if you played controller for years and you switch to PC and you start using mouse and keyboard, it will alter your like brain and you'll never be able to use a controller properly again. Or at least in my situation, that's what it's like. Okay, we can't just go anywhere. Now we have a map. Wait, how big is this? Right now. And this is just one area. Wait, let's keep going this way. Keep going this way. Go up here. She wants something from me and I don't know what it is. F. Oh no, that's not the quest. Track. Nope. T. Okay, so we... What was the quest? It was down here. Have I just done them? Have I like finished things? Do I like just do the quest and it automatically like completes? Find the Stars on Slingshot. Stars-eyed Slingshot. How do I do that? It's over this way. How do I get over that way? I'm a mouse and keyboard girl? No, honestly. I used to... So I started playing console, obviously, when I was, like, a kid. I think my first console that wasn't handheld was a PlayStation 2. And then I kind of like didn't do anything other than The Sims on a laptop for years. And then all of a sudden I got an Xbox. And I played on Xbox for a long time until I moved to PC in like 2022 maybe. And it's just like I can't, my hands don't like, oh, wrong way. My hands do not, under any circumstances, like a controller anymore. It's a problem. It's a problem. Equip the Starside slingshot as the gathering tool. Pick up ammo off the ground. Hold to aim at the Starside slingshot at airborne collectibles and shoot them. Okay. Where is it? Like that? Oh, hi! Who are you? Whoopers to the World. Mine is my favorite book. What brings you here? Ollie's Worry. 1, 2, 3. There are plenty of fresh dewdrops up there. All of them collected can make some seriously amazing roseberry black tea. Do you know what? That sounds really good. How to collect them? Molly, what are you doing here? Looking for something? I want to collect some fresh dewdrops nearby and brew black tea with berry rose jam. But there's no ladder. You have wings. You have wings. You have wings. What do you mean? There's no ladder or anything nearby. I've been thinking for a while, but I haven't found a way up. It's quite a pickle. Don't worry, I'll help you think of a solution. Let me check my backpack for any tools that we can use to gather the dewdrops from up here. Up high. I don't like the fact that this is typing things out and I have to like wait for it to finish. Well, I've got it. I just found a Starside slingshot. Let me see if I can knock them down for you. Really? That's great. Be careful not to scatter the dewdrops, though. Why not? Why not? Hi, Tony. I don't have wings. Can't stand ragdoll. This guy has wings. Oh, no, she has wings. Sorry. She's an owl. A cute one. An adorable one. But girl, you got wings. You can, like, fly up there, right? Owls fly, right? They just have wings for, like, some other reason. I'm not wrong. I hope. But if I go to file, double check what server you're on. I don't know how to. How do I check what server I'm on? I just want to do that quickly so I don't do anything. It just says language. There's no region. I genuinely have no idea how to check. I know you have to restart if you change servers. I saw someone say that in Discord earlier and I was like, Tool settings. Not sure, it will come up when you go to the start. Do I like log out? Login screen. Okay, we'll do that for a second and then... Where is it? Where's that there? Yeah, I have no idea. Didn't want you to go too far and then find out. It's okay. I will just continue playing for the rest of the stream, and then if I end up being on the wrong server, I'll start over again, off stream. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. I'll just get to the point that we were on stream. I'll play along with my own stream. And we'll do it from there, but... Yeah, I don't seem to be able to figure out... how to see what server I'm on. It doesn't tell me anywhere. I just logged out and logged back in and there was nothing. So I don't actually know how to check. I was so excited to start, I just pressed play. No, same. Same. Oh, that's quite annoying. It's okay though, we'll leave it for now. I don't want to worry too much about it on stream. It'll be fine. And then if I have to, like I say, I'll just restart again. It's not as bad as what happened with... I was watching Let's Play K on YouTube, and she did a stream. Oh, how cute! She did a stream for Stars on Island on the first day of release, and she did like 8 hours or something ridiculous, which is like already insane enough. Then she went somewhere for the day. It was like Galentine's or something. She came home and she realized that she played the first day of Stars on Island on the beta testing file. So like there was like obviously the official release game file and then the alpha version or the beta version. And she played the testing version instead of the actual version of the game, and she had to restart the whole thing. So she stayed up all night just to get back to the place they were so she could stream the next day. Dedication, but very unlucky. Just go to the starting screen just before it says plus play. Oh, did you just check? Give me a sec. Let's give a sec. Let me completely just like log out. It only takes 2 seconds to log back in, so don't worry. We'll get back into playing in a second. But right, I'm opening the game again. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I literally saw I think it was Olivia in Discord, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I had to start over again." Why didn't I check? I should have checked. Okay, we're loading in. Watch me be like on the completely wrong server. With the stuff that's happened today, wouldn't surprise me. But either way, it's fine. We'll keep playing for a little bit and then we'll end stream. And then I'll go and redo it all. It's fine. Before you press play. Is it before you press play to make a character? I still don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I can't see it. I go to login. I click the login, the account I want to log in with. And then I do that, and it comes up. I found it. Guys, I'm playing on Asia. That's why all the text is in a different language. Do I have to start over completely again? No! Great Upper Forest in NA, the beautiful epoch in... I made a mistake. But I have to go through all of that again. The whole thing. Like the cutscene, the character creation, everything. Do we continue playing for like 20 minutes on the same account? And then do I just restart? Just keep playing and do it off stream. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Look, we'll do that. It's fine. It's not like laggy or anything though. I'll give them that. It's not that bad. I've got my my notebook in front of me. Capital letters. Change to EU when you log in. That's so funny. I'm so glad you said that because I just wouldn't have even realized. We will keep playing though. We're fine. We'll keep playing, and then when I end stream, I'll just do it all again. It's not that big of a deal. Don't play for 20 minutes and had no problems. I wonder what my ping's like. There's no way for me to see, but it seems okay. But yeah, there's like a bunch of people with like names that I can't read, messages that I can't read. Should have been obvious from the beginning. But it's fine. Okay, I think I got the raindrops for you. Oh, I can't see your face. Did I not pick them up? Wait. Minis. I am very confused. I do not seem to have the quest I had. What do you mean you can't read things? I never read anything, do I? I always do something wrong and it's always like a big consequence. This is what I meant by everything being against me. This is one of them. No, that's been me all day though, true. Like, you're not alone. I think a lot of people have been stressing in the Discord about not even just the game, but about everything. But I did get my like application done just before stream. So there's that. There's that. Maybe it is in my favor today. I have to have bad stuff to be able to get the good stuff. Okay, talk to Dilly. Talk to Dilly, where are you? Where is she? Where's she gone? She is not here. She is not here. Girl! There is like... Dilly has urgent matters. Well, she's gonna have to wait. Find the master dancer and learn how to dance. Master... for... music. Mystery of the weather glass. Maureen Rin seems to know what the bottle you just got is. Go ask her. Okay, we'll go do that. We'll go do that. We have to go up here though. Okay, maybe it is a little bit laggy now that I realize. But it's not bad. You could just stay on the same server if you got too far in. It wouldn't be too big of a deal for like the whole test. Obviously you kind of want to be on your home server, so it's not bad at all, but she's so cute. A long time ago, minis prayed at the star blooms for the lights and water needed for crops to grow. Thus, there appeared pages flickering with sunbeams and withering wood dripping with dew. But minis still couldn't use them. Finally, a highly trained artisan invented a magnificent tool, weather ball, that could collect, store, and utilize orbs of light and droplets of water. Weather glass? Is that the bottle I just found? That's right. You've obtained the essential tools for planting so quickly. Are you the legendary thinker with the greatest talent for life? Let's keep a low profile. The most resourceful thinker. Go collect light orbs. I'm sure you'll quickly become proficient at using weather bottles to help crops grow. If you have time, you can also collect the water droplets in the Dead Wood Secret Passage, as crops cannot grow without water. Crops cannot grow without water, that's true. After telling you the purpose of the weather bottle, Maury ran left. Oh. Oh, we already did it. We already did it. Cool. Needs daily. Gather hazelnuts. Gather hazelnuts. Gavel? Okay, let's go get some hazelnuts. Tell me to come here. I believe is a new area. We should probably be... I know we don't really need to collect things now because I'm going to restart soon anyway, but... we're still going to just, like, do whatever. And it won't take me very long to do it. We spent, like, a good amount of time talking, so it's not too big of a deal. Ooh. That's a big berry. Where do the hazelnuts spawn? We have to go to NA. It will not let me into EU. Oh. That's really odd. Should I just, like, stay on Asia? I'll see after stream what everyone else has done. I think I remember, like I said, Olivia had to switch. So maybe she would know. I wonder what she switched to. We'll see. It doesn't tell me what the ping would be like for each one, so it's a little bit complicated. Could just be me. I'll have a look. If I figure it out, I'll post in Discord and see. I can't find walnuts. Oh, hazelnuts. Wait, I think it's telling me where to go and I'm just ignoring it. Of course I am, because why wouldn't I be? There we are. Okay, the quest is completed and it disappears, so you don't have to go and find the person to complete them, which is nice. It says my device is not connected on the EU one. That's really odd. Like, not connected in what sense? Because that is really odd, actually. It's not connected. I think we're just gonna have like a bunch of problems with it being an alpha test. I did test Palia in alpha, so there was obviously like things that go wrong and that you have to figure out. But I just found a rather perplexing bottle when Voltra